Well, we're currently back here with the twin turbo LS swapped new Edge. And as you guys saw from the last video, the whole issue with it popping, banging, not starting, losing crank signal. Number 6 on the Holly is flashing red, which is a cam crank sync fail. I've already replaced the cam shaft position. What I'm going to do, I'm going to replace the crankshaft position and see if that actually helps it. If it does, great. Here's our problem. Or we're going to actually start looking at the wiring. We're going to check the inside wires for the Holly itself. That's underneath the kick panel. We're going to check those wires, make sure those are all properly and clean. Check the grounds on the cylinder head. Just basically do a whole check over before I just start ripping into this thing and going, well, that's the issue. So let's go ahead and start replacing the crank shaft position sensor first, and then checking the wires. So here's the old sensor that I pulled out, and as you guys can see, this one is the GM one that I pulled out, and this one is a aftermarket. I don't know if that's a problem or not, but it definitely sits in there either farther in or sits in there just the same, but it definitely looks weird because this is where it mounts, and it's definitely longer. So let's go ahead. I'm going to insert the GM one, and cross your fingers, this thing just starts up and runs like it should. I definitely do need to do an oil change because this thing smells like raw fuel. So let's go ahead and get this thing installed, get the starter back on, and hopefully everything is just kosher. Our new sensor is in. That would have been so amazing. Well, you guys saw we replaced the crank sensor. I already did check the grounds for the back of the cylinder heads. Those are good. What I'm gonna do now is check the cam sensor harness wires, and then obviously check the crankshaft position sensor harness, and then check the wires inside. Something is going wrong with it, and maybe it's hopefully just wiring, because I really don't want to be tearing this engine down after I spent $9,000 getting it built. So let's go ahead and check over the wires, make sure everything is good before I just start freaking out. Alright, we did a couple wires. Hopefully that's the problem. You guys already saw me replace the crankshaft position sensor, camshaft position sensor. I did check the back of the cylinder head, so let's go ahead. I'm really hoping this just pops off. Alright, I had to come up to the shop. Zach said he's got a boroscope that I'm going to use to actually check to see if the cam gear is actually right. I'm really hoping it's wrong. That way we can actually have a definite answer about what is going on. So all I got to do is figure out where you put it in this massive toolbox. Bam, we found a Calvin tool little guy. So now I just need to hook it up and see what cam gear I actually have in this thing. But obviously first we got to take out the camshaft position sensor, which is right here, easy peasy. Hopefully I can look up enough to actually see the cam gear. So last night I was reading, okay, and I finally felt like this guy was just crazy, okay? So I was like, maybe I'm having a crazy situation just like him. What I did last night off camera, I unplugged my manifold air pressure sensor, my MAP sensor, and it started. I kid you not, it just started. I couldn't rev it, obviously, but this is a 2-bar GM one. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a 3-bar in there instead. 3 bars are obviously gonna read more boost. Pretty much the 2-bar can read up to like 15. The 3-bar should be around 30. Don't quote me, but I know it's a lot more than the 2-bar, okay? So we're gonna put this inside. I also, just to make sure we don't have any cheap sensors, okay, I'm gonna replace the TPS and the idle air control valve, okay? Just to make sure we're good on the sensor wise. I know Amazon doesn't have the best sensors, so let's go ahead and I'm going to replace all 3 fully. It just starts up, and the next thing you guys see is this thing driving down the road. So let's get started. I'm super hopeful. I just Cross your fingers. I didn't know this mount sensor has a different pigtail than the factory one that I have here on the LS. So if anybody's wondering, Advance or CarQuest has this PTA 1226. That is the pigtail that actually clicks in there, okay? Now I just gotta, obviously wire it up and make sure this fits over here and it reads properly, because that's the biggest thing. Because if I have these wires backwards, it's not gonna run properly and I'm just gonna be pissed off, okay? But let's cut them, splice them, connect them. Let's start this thing up. And just like that, she is wired in there. I just color matched it, so I'm hoping that's the same thing. This has been cut and replaced. I don't know if that's something to be concerned with, right? That little spot. And then I found this spot right here that was cut. So I'm hoping and praying that this is my problem. So now I just gotta do is hook that map up and start it, and hopefully everything is kosher and okay. I might need to top it off with coolant, because I do know it's a little bit low. My biggest problem is I gotta go underneath here, and the thing with the white cap is what I'm trying to get my hands to, and there's absolutely no room to really get my hand in here, like at all. And this is gonna be just the worst nightmare ever, getting my hand stuck inside the engine. So I'm a little bit worried here. I do have to put this white cap on where I pull out the old map, and then put this guy, this monster, and basically in a different spot. So this is going to be interesting how I'm actually going to make this work. And just like that, it is plugged in. Now all I gotta do is hook up the Holly again. I took the SD card out. I was checking the data log on it to see if maybe I just missed something. But now, all we gotta do is turn on the car, make sure the SD card is plugged in, and change it to a 3-bar. And then we should be ready to go. And if not, I don't know. I'll just be a little upset, and then I'm gonna look for other cars, because I'll just trade this thing off and get, like, a Coyote car or something of the sort. And then we'll just put a turbo on that, and we'll call it a day. We won't actually have a new edge race car, and it just won't be as cool as everybody else. Yeah, I've thought about this. Or it starts up and works like it should, and it just works and works and works, and move on from here. Cause I am at my ends wits with this car. I have no idea what else it could be, and apparently nobody else does either. So she might be flooded. Let's find out. Single turbo Coyote, anyone? Throttle. Stay alive. Don't you dare die on me now. You dirty hoe, you shut off on me. Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
Let's just do it.
Say what you gotta say right now, okay?
So, we've been over to see other people's builds before, and I've heard of one other person that has had a Gen 3 car and then swapped to a Gen 4 block. Or a Gen 4 crank and everything, whatever the situation may be. I don't know. It's Gen 4 block, right? With Gen 3 internals. Okay. So this is a Gen 3 Holly harness. We need to swap 2 of these wires to make it work for the Gen 4 cam sensor. And I'm willing to bet money that someone didn't do that in all their research.
So
And I'm willing to bet money that this thing's gonna run perfectly fine after this.
okay, well, you heard it. Let's switch it, restart it, and go from there. Okay, it's currently switched A and C. Let's hope and pray. Everybody cross your fingers right now. I'm gonna load the tune back on and just hope it works. Okay, right up, you know. Let's do the drum roll. Brrrr.
Oh my god. She's definitely flooded. We're gonna hold it open.
Hey, look at that! Oh man! Look! What am I looking at? Look at that! Ah, she died. You suck. Oh shit, she's... Oh, it started right up! Oh man, look, it doesn't say air! It started right up! Oh my god! It started... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
Look at that. When your wires too high.
It's starting right up.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Okay, where's the two-step button?
No, we're not doing that. I wish I had my tune. I didn't load that tune on here.
Okay, so now we need to go back and figure out how to get that loaded on there properly.
Let's load the tune on here.
Okay, you have anything to tell your fans so you can...
Yes, master.
If anyone else is doing a Gen 3
For
to
all
Gen
of you
4,
who never commented anything, you guys are just rude. That's all I got. Let it sit here and idle. I feel like the biggest dummy, not thinking, well, I haven't read anybody that said switch A and C, but everybody said it when I was reading it.
that video was purple. Blink
Purple
means you already watched it.
You
watched that video.
I watched it a lot, okay? Because I was like, there's no way this guy is doing the same thing, and this just works. But now, we gotta figure out the overheating issue, change the oil, change the spark plugs, put the coil packs back over here. Hey, you gotta let the coolant cool off. Can you believe a 3-core still not cooling properly?
Yeah, it needs a stock Mustang radiator.
Needs a stock Mustang radiator, honestly. But I need to vacuum bleed it, but mine does not work. Man, why is it always late at night when we just figure it out? It just clicks. The moment Zach goes, "Did you do that?" and I go, "What?" Oh man, that is some stupid luck. Hey, it works though. So, get ready. See you in the next one.